Oh, I remember this level. This level was good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's interesting because you have this huge car that makes no sense.
Yeah, only designed for this one planet, this little strip. And they can't ever get it out of this strip. It stays here permanently.
Is there a planet of giants that we conquered and took all their cars? Because it makes no sense otherwise we'd have a car like this. Like, why would you drive around in this? It's bizarre. Anyway. Why do you just fly? You have ships to fly in. Why do you need
this giant car? Because we love Star Wars and the Jawas, and we need this thing because that was such a good move for them.
That's right. It's a very smart move on their part to have an enormous, unwieldy car they could bump around in. Make them just a target for the Empire. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Unfortunately for us,
Forrester,
we gotta manually bring down
Yeah, I'm anxious to talk about that because last week I was complaining about thinking they're going to try and redeem the governor and make him into a good character after all the work making him evil last season. And then they turned those expectations against me and made him even more evil than he was. I was really thrilled with that. It was a great way to go.
You felt he was more evil? I thought he was kind of consistent with you.
Well, I don't know. It seemed like he was just very almost impulsively evil this time. Just started to just kill everybody in the camp.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a long-term strategy or he just is, like you said, impulsive and lucky. He's kind of got the Walter White thing happening for him a little bit. Just nobody can catch him. Any of his moments would have been ruined if somebody just watched him do his thing. So far, nobody's just stumbled upon him anyway. So he's been remarkably lucky.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he just and he's been just very fortunate, or I don't know, that no one was able to catch him quick enough before he'd done all the damage he was going to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a good. It's a good episode. I mean, it was tremendously better than I expected it by far, especially after the previous season.
Yeah, I love it when shows do that. They turn your expectations about your negative expectations of the show against you.
Yeah,
and that's what they did. They made it maybe you expect the worst, and then they delivered something much better.
What are we supposed to be doing right now?
We're just fighting all these guys over here. I think eventually to get to that ship.
Okay.
If I recall, that ship is very immune to getting hit by bullets from the car here.
Oh, right. You want to take a car? I'll take a car. Okay. They're running away with the Warthog.
They're going to be hard to catch the Warthog. They're going to do Lucy and Charlie Brown with you there. They get real close and they drive away real fast.
Alright, let's do this.
Overall, I thought the governor thing was a really neat way to go. Maybe I was really excited to be wrong about that, and I hope they don't, let it all down. But I know that tank thing plays a role in the comic book.
Oh, it does? So it's not just some sort of MacGuffin or wild card that's out there, actually has a significant point in the comic book?
Yeah, that played a role in the comic book. I don't know if it was the governor's people or another faction they ran into that had a tank. I know that they did have to have in the comic book, too.
Okay. I mean, we haven't had a tank since the first episode. That's a good idea to bring it back a little bit.
That's a good point, yeah. I didn't quite understand. He just drove off with the tank.
I guess, yeah. You're going to run out of gas in 12 hours, right? You can't just go around the tank forever.
Long-term trekking, but
yeah, I guess he just drove
he's a guy who stole a tank and drove around.
I found a pool of water. Don't join us over here. I killed so many people just now. So how was Nino Kuni? Kind of wrapped it up, right?
Yeah, it's probably the most frustrating thing I've ever had in my life. It was, the game itself. It took me 60 hours to beat. It's really long.
You were all into this game. You were really enjoying it.
Yeah, I was enjoying it surprisingly a lot. I don't really enjoy RPG turn-based stuff that much, but I thought it was really. I mean, the music was really good. It was really cute. The plot stuff was just kind of RPG plot stuff. Just fetch this, help this person here, then move on from there. But yeah, it was. And there's 1,000 ways to play the game because there's so many different creatures to get and to collect and everything else. So there's a lot of fun ways to play it. Are you working on that ship back there? What's going on with that?
We could take the Warthog. I'm trying to figure out if I can't use a rocket launcher and target the thing.
Huh. Well, I've been trying to hit him with rockets from the ship, but I don't know if he's immune to those or what. Can you tell if I'm hitting him with these? Getting close to hitting him?
I don't think you are. Those are just flying right by him. It did scare him pretty well, though. It's impressive work.
Well, I can distract him maybe with these, and you can hit him with those.
Are you serious?
Are you right next to me here? I thought you were over there.
No, I'm on the ship. I'm using the rocket launcher, but if I wait a few seconds, it turns red. I think it's harder to that point.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Die already.
These guys got a lot of health.
We need all the rockets at this
Oh, there we go.
There it goes. Alright, let's get out of here. Glad we stayed around for that.
But there's a thing over there I think we can get.
Oh, crap. Alright, I'm going to get it. So Nino Kuni, keep going.
Yeah, so it's an enormously long game. You have this really good fight with this...
Good job, you're right, dude.
Oh, God.
Wow. That just
Yeah, there.
happened.
Wow. He was playing that close to his chest, wasn't he? Jeez. Alright. Oh, God. I didn't know he had survived.
I'm not ammo. Crap. Can we do the hijacking thing? It's like all I got left now. Wow, I'm just getting torn up here.
Alright, I'm over here.
I'm gonna go the other way. Oh, crap, he's over here too. Stop shooting me! Nice! What happened?
Well, I got killed before I could detonate, but it detonated.
Nice.
Alright.
That looked impressive from my angle.
And that's it. And, after so many, every other cutscene in the game is longer than the ending. The ending is literally just a couple of minutes and then it's done.
Well, everybody turns into zombies in this game?
There's a scene, kind of a weird third act or whatever you'd say. After you've beaten the wizard, you've been your antagonist for a lot of the game. His boss the actual white witch comes back and turns everyone into zombies. You have to go fight through and beat everyone as zombies.
Uh-huh. That's wild, man.
I'm sorry. Then once you've done that, then you fight the White Witch, and once you've beaten her twice, then you also have to beat these creatures she's made, and then once you do that, then the game ends. But it ends with you talk to her, and she's realized the evil of her ways, and then you just go home, and that's it. I can keep playing the game. There's more missions you can do. That you can go back to the world and do some other things. But really, for so many hours of gameplay, like 60 hours of gameplay, the end. I mean, every other Final Fantasy game has like a 30-minute ending, right? Where they go through every single character and what happens to them.
That's true. They keep going and going. They don't know how to wrap up their games, quite honestly.
It's exactly the opposite. This is okay, we're done, bye-bye. It just really feels strange. It's suddenly over, and after all those hours with these different characters, you just kind of leave and go home.
But you're not playing the games for the ending, right? That doesn't happen anymore.
More Covenant.
I guess not. That certainly seems to be the logic here. Yeah.
So I think my choice of this Christmas is going to be Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's a good choice, right?
Not many people actually beat the game. Like most people get distracted by the online component and trying to make sense of it. Like it's more complicated than Dark Souls to me. Like the online component is like, what am I supposed to do in this world? Just wander around and get an apartment and invest in stocks? Like that's my life in this game. Like it's like Second Life, but I can kill people.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
But I really don't know what the point of the existence is. Maybe it's like a Groundhog Day type experience. Like, do I want to be here? What am I supposed to learn to get out of this environment? And then somebody just runs you over while you're trying to ponder all these kind of deep thoughts.
But that's very existential. It's almost like a parable for life, right?
It is. Maybe Rockstar's smarter than I give them credit for.
Someone will just kill you.
Somebody's killing your animal. But that's the game I'm playing this holiday, just because I want to beat the main story, and I know I'm not going to be happy with it. Like, I beat Grand Theft Auto 4, I saw Nico's conclusion. It was pretty lackluster, in my opinion. I've never really been impressed by the end of the game. The promise is always much better than the conclusion, the actual execution. And I'm sure the same thing's going to happen here, to a certain extent. I mean, every viewer loves these games, gets perfect scores. I just don't understand why. Visually, they're great. But as far as the actual game itself, it's just the same type of experience. I played a little bit last night again, and it was like, I played for maybe an hour and a half, and maybe for most of that, half the time, I was driving to the missions, like drive across the world to the next mission, get something, drive back, and you get there, and there's some Max Payne like cover shooting stuff, and that's okay. But fundamentally, you're just going from place to you're chauffeuring the guy around. That's all you do in the game, by and large.
That's interesting. Well, what keeps you going again like that? For Nino Kuni, I was always interested to see what the next area looked like, because the places you go were really pretty, and so I wanted to see what the next world was, and the world after that, and the world after that.
Yeah, I think it's a promise. I think it's a promise of what it can do and what it can possibly pull off. But it's a good point. It's hard to. I feel almost embarrassed to admit that I'm excited to see possibly what it could be.
Damn it. Okay.
I shoot a grenade.
Yeah. Good on the grenade.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess I would do the same thing. I was thinking though about Skyrim though. I've been anxious to get back to play that again, and haven't played through it again since the first time.
I have never beaten Skyrim.
That's crazy. It's a fun game.
I'll beat Skyrim and watch Superman one day. It'll be great.
Yeah, just do both. Yeah, catch up.
Knock those major milestones out for you. No, I got close to the end of Skyrim. I like you, Nino Kuni. I spent like 70 hours in the game, and I stopped. I don't know why. I think something else came out that was distracting for me. I forget, another game came out, a competitor game came out, and I lost where I was in Skyrim and never picked it back up again. But I remember saying the end of it is just amazing looking.
Yeah, the graphics are great.
So I think it's worth my time to do it. I need to spend the time actually doing it.
If you had to play something you'd played before, what would you play through again?
I don't know, River City Ransom, does that count?
Binge on River City Ransom.
Over and over again. I have this aspiration to beat games I've never beaten before. And that would be like Ninja Gaiden 2 for the Xbox 360. I've never beaten it. I got close. I didn't beat it. I remember watching a review for it in IGN where the reviewer was saying most people will do, like trying to describe how long it takes to beat this game, and the reviewer said most people won't even beat this game. And I kind of scoffed at it. That's ridiculous. You should tell me it's a 40-hour or 20-hour game. But he said no, most people actually won't beat it. He's right. I did not, and it's frustrating because I want to go back and beat it now. I think if I got a bunch of time just on my hands over the holiday, that's one of the games I'm going to try to take on. And I'm going to hate it along the way, but I just want to know how it wraps up. And I don't want to watch the spoiler. I actually want to do it on my own.
I agree. That's like your white whale then.
It is. It's all about pride and vanity, right? Nobody's
going to doesn't take you down with it, do you?
Yeah. Right.
Losing your job and staying at home all day just trying
It's a distinct possibility.
What's our cue for updating? Like, when do we say, okay, time to buy a new system now? I mean, because the longer you wait with anything, the cheaper it gets.
Well,
right?
and also, I think the first generation consoles are usually more riddled with flaws and problems. So
yeah, we're doing that for the Xbox now, right? People having rings of death already and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we're certainly okay waiting. I think it's a good move for us to do that.
Yeah, but what's our cue then? Are we waiting for a great game, or are we waiting like a...
Well, that's the thing. I feel like the marketing strategy this year, again, has all been about first adopters marketing, not the masses. They're going for people who line up for the new iPhones because they have, a better screen or thinner form factor. They're not lining up not creating systems for, like, the majority of gamers yet. And I think they're hoping that early adopters lead the, kind of what's the phrase, wag the tail? Like the dog. So I think they're hoping that is enough to motivate the masses at some point down the road and create the critical mass. But so for us, we're just not there. If people start telling us this thing to do, people recommend it, that's great. But I think the obvious answer is the game. If December 11th rolls around and Fallout 4 is announced and it's on the PS4 and it has no load times on the PS4 versus the Xbox, and it's going to be out on January 24th, and we'll buy it the day before that. I mean, we'll pick up the console then. And that's what it's going to come down to is the Fallout game whenever it comes out, or whatever significant game. So Metal Gear, maybe a little bit for me. I enjoyed the previous one, but that's a stretch. I mean, it's going to be when the next huge game comes out, and that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be Halo or Fallout or something like that, right? I mean, that's what we're waiting for, is some kind of game. I'm going to shoot the shield. Back off.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to shoot the shield. I'm hoping you'll lure them out and I can shoot them when they come out.
Oh. Keep the left side of it. They're kind of on the left side of it, about to pop out. Nice shot. Shoot it again, left side.
See him run around out there. Wow.
You got it? Nice.
Alright, shoot the shield right up. Straight in the middle.
That's going to do it.
Alright, cool.
Alright, don't take off without me.
I'm not driving so much.
Alright, don't take off without me.
Start rolling.
Damn it!
Gypsy Company, moving out.
I can't. No!
You're gonna need to get a car or something. Well, tell me about Hunger Games.
Okay, so Hunger Games, surprisingly good. And so, did you see that? You saw the first one, right?
Yeah, we saw the first one. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really care for it either. It seemed like a much watered down version of Battle Royale.
Well, it's exclusively exactly what it is. The books have been about that as well. They try to make it bigger about the political motivations for the cities around them while they're watching the show, and how it's about diminishing hope and all kinds of other stuff. And in reality, it's kind of this really just stupid, flimsy sci-fi stuff added on top of the concept of the kids killing each other that tries to make it better or bigger, and it doesn't do a whole lot. It's not really that significant anymore. And that's kind of the story. But I mean, they did double the budget, and it's evident. And they did bring in a better director. And I don't know this guy, but he did a much better job just allowing kind of the scenes to have more resonance and filtering out what probably is not critical, and kind of keeping the story moving, and filling out with good actors. Philip Seymour Hoffman's a good addition, and I mean, Donald Sutherland can ham it up quite a bit. He's sort of restrained in this one. They do a fairly good job of just kind of keeping it tight. For a 2.5 hour movie, it's kind of ironic to say it's tight, but it is. They do a good job of keeping it moving in the right direction, and it's a weird concept for me, because they took on perhaps. I mean, people really will enjoy the second book a lot, because they find a way to reinvent, to have another Hunger Games. The whole thing is, once you've been in Hunger Games and you win, you can never go back. Well, this one, there's another Hunger Games, and she has to go back. And so to kind of twist that and find a motivation for her to have to go back, it's kind of people like it has a good twist in it for her to be there. But then the actual games themselves, I thought the book they're remarkably crazy, like just an arena that's shaped like the clock, and these weird things that show up every hour in different venues, and it's a weird kind of thing with a lot of sciencely or engineered animals and crap. I thought this would never translate to screen very well, but they actually did a pretty damn good job with all of these challenges in mind. And to have a story that does not end, does not pick up from really the beginning or end at a very natural ending, it just kind of stops. It still is a very satisfying ride. I got a car. I'm not sure if we want a car. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, this is in the battlefield apparently.
Right behind you. Turn around.
I know, but I think we're in the wrong place. I was going that way, that said come back this way.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do we do that?
Hold on, let me jump in the car.
All right.
I
We are
don't know, I
pros
guess
at this
it's
game.
the other way?
But anyways, so Hunger Games remarkably good. Looking forward to the next one. The next one's even weirder in the book, so maybe it'll be even better. I don't know. But go ahead.
Go ahead. Why haven't they made a video game of the Hunger Games? Oh wait, yeah, who tries that thing? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
shoot it.
wrong.
How do you do that?
Probably with the hand cannon.
Target acquired.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Sounds good.
Do you have that hand cannon? If you press up, you use it.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time.
All units.
Oh, hang on.
Vehicle incoming.
Okay, actually, stay moving, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hang on at all.
Really bad advice on my part. Sorry.
Why didn't these guys come in earlier?
I don't know. They were waiting for us to get the Jeep, I'm guessing.
But yeah, so Hunger Games is good. As far as the game goes, I don't think it makes any sense to make a game.
We'll have to find a way to
It's
keep
not
the
really.
Covenant off
There's
the
so much more that happens outside. Most would be like, can you not emote your face in front of the TV camera? Like that, it'd be a weird game. I'm not sure it'd make any sense
That's
to
a
make
good point. Yeah. It just seems like for a massive. Oh, damn! I got killed. You could do a really easy, competitive mode or cooperative mode, or just put a whole bunch of people in an area and have them hunt after each other.
That would be a fun little kind of indie game to make. You're right. I can see that.
Oh, you know what they're probably going to do? I mentioned Telltale Games are going to hand them.
Yeah, they've got their hand on everything right now, don't they?
Right. I mentioned that's next. The Hunger Games Telltale.
That sounds really horrible to me.
It does. Yeah. I don't think it's that kind of world.
I've got the car stuck. Everybody's welcome for that. I found the one rock in the entire desert we could barely get stuck on, and made it work.
This is kind of severe, yeah. Wow. Okay.
You
Are
are
you-